Hey guys, how's it going? I'm here today to take you through the brand new Polaris Matryx Assault. Just picked this up the other day and it is looking pretty darn good. I'm a longtime Ski-Doo guy and this is my first Polaris in a couple years. I did try out a 2018 Assault. Had a few things I didn't like about it. Ended up riding backcountry for a couple seasons. I wanted to give this thing a try here now. It looks like they've addressed a lot of the things that I didn't like about the Assault, so hopefully this proves to be a pretty good machine. One thing I noticed right off the bat, these come with a nice rail stiffener right from the factory. And this is pretty cool because last season I rode a backcountry 154. First or second weekend out, I ended up bending the rails on it and ended up having to buy that piece, so it's pretty cool that Polaris gives you that from the factory. They've got the Super Trick Velocity Series shocks where the reservoirs are not at the top of the shock. It's kind of new for me, so I'm not exactly sure how well they work yet until I get a chance to ride it, but everybody seems to say they work pretty good. Polaris has done a really good job on this machine versus the Axys. Much better fit and finish overall. A lot cleaner looking sled overall. A lot better panel fit. The textures. Everything about it is just a lot cleaner than the old machine. Like here where your panels fit here now, there's less chance of snow and ice to get built up in behind these where they won't close. This is all like really nice how everything on it sort of has a nice seam to it where hopefully snow and ice doesn't get lodged in there. It's one of the problems I noticed with the Ski-Doos where the panels close into the tank. They tend to get ice and snow down in them and then they become difficult to close if you're riding in, let's say, really powdery conditions or cold conditions and that sort of thing. Everything about this looks pretty darn good. Fit and finish is excellent compared to my past sled. There's a few little casting flaws in the plastics, but they're not too bad, like a little deeper, and I think Polaris has really done a pretty good job on it. The plastics now are impregnated with the color all the way through, so it's no longer paint. So the finish is much cleaner, much smoother, just a better overall looking sled. Better panels, better fit. That new headlight's pretty trick. This is their projector beam. Again, haven't got to try it, but from everything we hear, it's supposed to be really good. Very nice looking machine overall. Probably one of my favorite parts about this thing is the new display. It just takes a second to boot up. It's got a really cool animation when it starts up. Very quick satellite lock. The switch gear now is really nice how it feels, how it's finished, the texture. It's very intuitive, very easy to work, very easy to operate. So if we hop on and have a look at the gauge here. So it's in night mode right now because it's in the shop, but we can change that however we want. So if we go to the gauge mode, there's our gauges. Everything is customizable, what we have displayed. Just a quick flip, we can change how it looks. And then these are all customizable again from there. However you'd like it to look, we can switch the tack and the speedo. And down here, we can grab, and there's like all your screens where you can customize everything. Really well done, really well laid out, very quick. Like this thing, if you watch me touching on stuff, it's very fast. There's the map. And like if we pinch to zoom, it's very quick. There's no real delays in it. You don't have to wait. It's not like the PIDD where it was very slow to use. This thing is actually amazing. It's got all the info for your group rides, everything else that you want to add, so you can actually, add your buddies to it, track everybody on the trail. Even if they don't have this gauge, if they run the app on their phone, you can add them to it, so you can keep track of everybody in your group. That's night mode, which a lot of people haven't really shown it much in any of the videos. We can go to day mode, which produces like a nice white screen. Out in the sun, it's perfectly viewable. If the sun's shining right on it, it doesn't affect this gauge whatsoever, so there's no washout or anything like that when you're looking at it. Then we've got a little storage compartment in behind, tons of room in there. The hookup for your phone if you want to plug it in. And I don't really need to take you through all the features of this gauge because there's lots of that stuff out there, but just wanted to touch on it. It's a pretty cool thing. Your keys down here now, which is neat. And this sled has the smart warmers. That's the new technology for this year, where you can set the temperature to whatever you want it to be, and the warmers are supposed to maintain that. We'll get back to that once we get to actually try it and ride it, but overall the sled is very, very well done. The riding position and everything else is very similar to the 850 Skidoo, which I have a ton of experience with. The panels are actually a little bit nicer, how they're slanted away from you more, so that you don't end up with that straight edge where your knees tend to bash off of the panel. They've opened up the footwell, which is very welcomed. Before, if you were wearing like a snow cross type boot or a mountain type boot, your feet would tend to get stuck in those footwells, and it could be bad if you got kicked off the sled, broke a leg or something like that. There's all kinds of little cool things on it. Like I just noticed here, the little Polaris logo in the bumper. They've really put a lot of care and detail into this sled, and hopefully it shows when we can get it out on the snow and get some riding on it. But so far everything looks pretty darn good on it. I'm pretty happy with how it's delivered, how it looks. I ordered it with the medium windshield. I'd rather be warm than look cool. And that's about it. Hopefully you guys enjoy, and we'll definitely keep track of our fuel mileage, oil usage, anything we break, modifications, stuff like that to the sled throughout the season. Hoping to put 10,000 K on this thing, so we'll do our best. All right, guys, that's it for now.
If you liked that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the Sledaddicz YouTube channel, where we release content on everything snowmobiles. Also, hit that bell icon so you can be updated every time we release new videos.